Okay, I'm back with my headphones on, just on my way to work. And this is the second week of me doing this challenge, and it's been interesting. The first week has been really interesting, what's come up for me, how I've judged myself, how I've judged others, and like what that all means. And I've been going through those feelings and letting go of things, just limiting beliefs that like today limiting beliefs that I am not pretty enough, or I can't be pretty and have everything and get what I want in a relationship. I have to kind of compromise, and lots of stuff around men and oh no, if he's really hot, he's not going to see me being thinking, oh, she's hot. He's just going to be like, oh, she's nothing, see right through me, which is really interesting, because I am I do see guys and then I'm like, oh, I'll say yes, but I bet they won't like me. So I kind of put out that energy of I don't know, awkwardness, or oh, they're not going to like me, or they're not going to be interested in me. So yeah, those are the realizations from last week. This week should be interesting to see what happens. Been chatting to a few people, but I feel like I need to up my game a little bit to get some dates. Instead of just chatting, I need to be a bit more vicious. But it is good actually, having to do things going on Bumble, where you have to actually do things such as putting yourself out there and making the first move. It kind of makes me appreciate that when guys do it, because it's a hard thing to do, and it also makes me on other apps be a bit more hey, how are you, hey, let's chat, hey, talk to me, not care so much about if they don't want me or aren't interested. So yeah, it's pretty interesting in that respect. So we'll see what happens the next week. Okay guys, day 2, week 2 of dating apps, all that malarkey. I have decided to go on a speed dating event with a difference, a lock and key speed dating, not kinky at all. Actually could be interesting because you get lots of icebreakers, so that will be really interesting. I didn't end up doing the challenge which I set myself last week, which was going and speaking to someone randomly in a coffee shop. I just didn't get time. Maybe I'll put that one as a later one. Although, who knows, something more scary could come up than that. I'm going alone to this event as well, which is even more scarier, whereas I think if I went with someone, I'd be like, oh, yeah, this is cool, I've got my wingman or my wingwoman. But this time I'm going YOLO solo, so we'll see how it goes. How are the dating apps going? Well, do you know what? eHarmony is actually doing a lot better this week. I think maybe me just putting out stuff and being the action taker, because I kind of have to be, has really helped me to just get out and do it. And then Bumble and Hinge, not too bad, getting lots of chats, sometimes interesting chats. Did have one guy just write really sexual stuff. It was I sent him a thing saying, what's your hidden talent? Well, that's a good opener from Bumble. And he just wrote, I can cook, I can iron, I can watch, I'm a sex machine. And then just wrote this whole other stuff, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then said I want to lick your curves in your neck, and I'm like, oh, great, but first you need to wine and dine me, mate. This is not a meat market, Bumble. And then another guy sent him an opener Look, guys, I think open as a great things instead of being like, how was your day today? Which is like, it's nice, but it's just like general conversation. At least give us something interesting to chat about. And I like that Bumble has interesting things for you to chat about. So, sent him this like question. He's like, is that one of Bumble's pre-openers? I was like, yeah, sorry. Like, I'm playing Bumble where I have to talk to you, so, you know, it's not like I'm waiting for you to chat me up. I have to chat you up, right? And he was like, I was like, oh, sorry, you know, yeah, it is. I owned it, and then I said, like, oh, you know, but I thought it was interesting, though. It was like something about if you were a ghost, would you live in the past or the present or the future? Something random. And then he was like, bit lazy, though. I was like, oh, bit lazy? There you are, sitting there waiting for someone to give you, you know, to chat to you, and I'm being lazy when I'm trying to chat to you. I thought, oh, that's interesting. Maybe that's something I need to figure out what it means to me. But I also, yeah, like, I just have so much more respect for people who take action and, like, kind of go for it, because I'm going for it. So I'm like, let's go for it. Hopefully I can keep that up. So by Saturday, when I have this speed dating event, I'll be like, going for gold. No fear, and lots of fear. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And I'll check in tomorrow. Okay, guys. Week 2, day 3 of the dating game, or fearless dating, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, how's it going? I feel like I'm spending a lot more time than I thought I would spend on it, but I kind of feel like I need to spend more time on it, even though I'm not actually spending much time. Like, maybe an hour a day, maybe a little bit longer. But it's so easy to get sucked into, like, swipe right, swipe left, look at all the information, yes or no, what does this mean, what does this mean, send a smile, send a like, send a thing. So it's like, yeah, really tricky, but yeah, like, I mean, look, numbers game as well. I think that's what I've recognized prior to what I was doing. I was like, this is a numbers game. You just got to keep going. And also something else I've noticed, like, especially on just generally, is I do ask questions a lot, and I think because I was on Bumble, I'm like, oh, on Bumble girls have to do it first, which is kind of cool, like scary, really scary, but it's kind of cool that you match, you start talking, you're the one that has to start talking. So just getting some messages from a guy, interesting. Yeah, so where was I? Yeah, so you have to keep, you know, plugging and, like, putting out things and doing stuff. And I found that, like, within, like, a couple of, like, sentences, a couple of back and forths, I can know if that person is, like, almost actually keen or wanting to keep the conversation, or if they're, like, socially awkward or something like that. Because it's like, you know, even if you say things like, oh, how are you? I'm good, thanks. Well, where do I go from that? How is your day today? It's good, thanks. Like, you need to ask me how my day is. You need to ask me questions. Like, you need to talk to me. Like, sometimes if the conversation is really awkward, it makes it really hard. And it's like, you know what? Like, I don't have time in this dating game to keep, you know, putting it out there, to keep doing all this stuff, like, to keep asking you questions about yourself. And it just, yeah, it made me just really recognize that when previously on dating games, if I did stuff like that, I was always waiting for them to make the move. They always had to make several moves. And now I'm like, fuck it. Excuse my language. Pardon my French. I'm going to just, you know, like, it's about the back and forth. And as soon as you have good back and forth, it's all good. But if you just, like, kind of fizzle out, then it's like, not good. So that is my top tip of week 2, is to please, guys, girls and guys, if you're dating, online dating, app dating, please make an effort to have a communication with the person, because chances are they are hustling their way through lots of people. I'm not saying that you should say some rude things to them and just get right into like, let's go and have sex kind of thing, because that's kind of not cool either. But at least make an effort to like bring back the conversation to asking them questions instead of it just being one sided. That's my little tip. Who knows, I might have more tips as the weeks progress. Hi guys, it's future Jude in the future. I was just trying to get some videos for me to talk about speed dating that I'd done, and for some reason I can't get them off my phone. Not sure what's going on. I'm sure I'll figure it out somehow later on. But right now I'm just gonna do this so I can get this video out to you. So, speed dating, let's go back to what was happening in speed dating. It was a lot more fun than, geez, getting a lot of messages. It was a lot more fun than I anticipated, and at first it was really cool because I met this girl from the same hometown that I'm from in the UK, which is really rare. But it just also got me like, all right, I gotta go and like see if I can unlock some keys with this lock and key party, and just like kind of going out and really talking to people. And it was really interesting, like getting out there and just like just trying to talk to people, because this was kind of very different to speed dating where, you know, everyone talks to everyone else. This was like 400 people, so you just talk to who you could talk to. That was it. And it was interesting because a couple of locks I had got unlocked, so that was cool. And yeah, what else? It was just like a really fun night. And at the end of the night, I met this guy who I ended up having a date with, but I'll talk about that next week. But yeah, he was like enamored with me and like really more so than I've felt in a little while. Someone who was like, God, you're so beautiful. Oh my God, I can't stop looking at you. And I was like, Jesus Christ, mate. I know I've got a bit of makeup on, but like, this is intense. So, yeah, that was it. It was scary at first, but a lot more fun than it could have been. And I always think if you go to a speed dating event, always go in with, you know, the intention that, you know, I'm going to have a fun night tonight, or I really want to, you know, meet some amazing people. And I did meet amazing people, and that was the intention I went in with. So just make sure you're really clear on your intention when you go into speed dating, and you never know what could happen. You never know who you're going to meet, what's going to happen. So there you go. Week 2's done. Find out what happens in week 3.